Hello, everyone. It's time to get started. Hi, everyone. It's so great to see everyone here. My name is Theresa Lieb. I'm Trellis Group's Nature Lead, and it's my pleasure to be your host today. A warm welcome also to everyone tuning in from the live stream from around the world. Um, Tenemos traducción a español. Si alguien quiere escuchar en español, hay traducción afuera para que todos puedan entender. So, while we at Trellis are hosts today and tomorrow here at Bloom, we also acknowledge that we are guests here in Colombia, in Cali, and at COP16, and we really hope to make a meaningful contribution to all the other amazing things happening this week and next. So thank you to the city of Cali for having us. And being here with Bloom alongside COP16 also means that there are more unfamiliar faces in the audience today than at the events that we usually host in the US. And I'm curious to test in just a second the distribution between old and new faces here in the room. But before we get to that, let me share one clarification. You may think that you don't know Trellis when you actually do, because we rebranded over the summer from Greenbiz to Trellis Group. So if you've known Greenbiz, you also know Trellis. And I'll admit that I was a little bit skeptical about the new name in the beginning because, as a non native English speaker, it just didn't mean anything to me. But once I heard the story behind it, it started making sense. So, for everyone else here who doesn't know, a trellis is the wooden support grid often used for roses and other plants to grow on. And we're excited about this new name because it really embodies what Greenbiz has been doing for the past 20 years and what Trellis is hoping to continue doing for decades to come, to serve as a support structure for sustainability professionals like you to learn, connect, and grow on. We do that with events like Bloom, our peer network, and our journalism. So, with that clarification out of the way, let's get a sense of who's here today and how you've engaged with us in the past. So, if we can pull up the next slides, here's a little graphic of our amazing newsletter, Trellis Briefing. Is anybody subscribed to that? We have a daily roundup of sustainability news, and we often feature biodiversity and nature stories. I'm subscribed. Yes. Okay. A few other people. And who has been to one of our other events that we've been running for much longer than Bloom, like Circularity, Greenbiz, Verge, Greenfin? Yes. Some familiar, some hands up. And lastly, perhaps most importantly, who was at Bloom last year in California? Yay. All right. Welcome back for everyone who has been with us before, and welcome everyone else to the Trellis community. So, why are we gathering here at Bloom today? We believe that halting and reversing nature loss is impossible without fundamental shifts by the private sector. And in turn, the ability of companies to continue operating far into the future is intimately tied to protecting biodiversity. Recognizing that interconnection and acting accordingly will lie at the heart of a healthy and resilient economy. Business leaders started grasping those concepts at COP15 in Montreal 2 years ago, but they didn't quite know what to do about it. So we launched Bloom and our other nature initiatives to help companies and financial institutions understand how and why they could move from depleting to regenerating biodiversity. We wanted to bring people embarking on this journey together and create a community of peers that could help each other along the way. And it's great to see that community actually coming together now and see you all returning from one year to the next. So since Bloom's inaugural edition last year, a lot has happened in the nature space. Companies have adopted nature strategies and hired experts to implement them. Monitoring technologies have made big strides, and new financial vehicles were adopted. And while doing this work, we've all tried really hard to blend conservation goals into business language to hone in on the ROI of doing this work and to not come across as nerds and naturalists who care about birds but don't understand economic realities. And while that's really important to some extent, I urge you all to not take that too far. As my amazing colleague Alex Navarro, Alex over there, likes to remind me, people love birds and bears and beavers. We're drawn to and fascinated by them. So let's use that love for nature to build bridges between the sustainability community and other business leaders to draw in new and diverse perspectives and demographics. We need everybody to be a part of this community. And honestly, let's be grateful every time we can talk about a cool species rather than having to go over the ins and outs of carbon dioxide equivalents or chemical plastics recycling. That's a lot more fun. And let me lead with an example. The cricket. It's a more fascinating species than you might think, and it's been around for a really long time. The cricket has 3 characteristics that I'd like to point out. It has the power to transform, adapt, and communicate. Crickets go through 3 life stages, from egg to nymph to adult, transforming effortlessly from one stage to the next when the time has come. They're also highly adaptive. They can jump 60 times their body length. We would have to jump the long side of an entire football field if humans could jump that far. And finally, crickets have an authentic voice, chirping to defend themselves and attract mates. And when they come together to sing as a big choir, they bring vibrant nightscapes to life. Their song will always bring me back to a nice bonfire on a warm summer night. These and other characteristics have helped crickets survive and thrive for over 300 million years. And they offer valuable questions for today's theme of what companies can do to halt and reverse nature loss within their operations and supply chains. First question: what life stage is your company in on the spectrum from extractive to sustainable to regenerative? How can you enable the necessary transformation? Second, how adaptive is your business? Can you leap at the risks and opportunities emerging as biodiversity is gaining traction? And third, do you have an authentic voice? Do you ever sing in a choir with peers and other like-minded organizations? And what about your personal voice? How does it resonate with your colleagues, peers, and community at large on the topic of nature and biodiversity? Those are some of the key questions we'll be addressing throughout the program today, and I'd love to kick off the discussion right now. So I invite you all to turn to a person next to you, in front of you, behind you, ideally someone you don't know yet, and talk to them about which of those themes resonates most with you right now and why. So everyone has 2 minutes to share, and then we'll regroup.